Forced displacement worldwide has reached an unprecedented level, affecting the lives of millions of people. According to the UN refugee agency, UNHCR, the number of refugees, asylum seekers and internally displaced people now exceeds 60 million, the most we have seen in the post-World War II era.
In the chaos of war and persecution, families often get separated. People take different routes in order to maximize their chances of escape, survival, safety. And very often families don't also have the resources for everyone to live together at the same time. So it's often maybe the men who go to scout out and then the others to follow. Therefore, family separation is not supposed to be permanent. But as soon as refugees find safety, to be able to have their families join them.
Just as the numbers of asylum seekers arriving in Europe are growing, more than 1 million in 2015, many countries are making it increasingly difficult for refugee families to legally reunite. Cyprus, in fact, changed its legislation long before the current refugee crisis in Europe, denying family reunification opportunities to people fleeing war and violence. Generally, Cyprus does not give refugee status to people who fled wars, like Syrians, for example. They only get what is known in the EU terminology as subsidiary protection. With this status, they are not allowed to bring their families left behind.
ارتمدامي برينك كيومي سيخرونيا ارتمدامي دي شبولين بوجي ركب شبولين بوجي مدافع من ارتمدامي مياني ميرا يميس كاثم جامي سبيدي ارتيار بلانو شري مياو بلا جامي ذبلس بيدي ماس جيني ورا في كوزموس بو كاثينا ولا كوزموس في يوكسو ايشي كوزموس بو بثاني يغوب كان ميا مورو جيفيا يغوب سكفتو له مورو مازي بابازمو جيبو مازمو جيفيا ميميس ميدا يعني في ماذا بيعمل ليبانو ما عندي كاثي ميرا كليه اما عند يعني كتورا بورينا في ميا كروة فتاخرونيا مكريابو كنت عندي كثير خرونيا
يعني إن 2 3 شهور هون وبعدني بستنى يعني إذا ما بدهم يعني إذا ما فيش مش طالع بيدهم إنهم يجيبوا لي إياها أنا بدي أروح يعني ما عاد أقدر أتحمل.
I think refugees suffering more than the people inside of the country because they need to worry about 2 things: their family over there, their country, and about how they need to live as a refugee in the foreigner country. Sometimes I said to myself, why I rather be with them and die, God forbid, with them, or share this. Sometimes I feel I'm selfish. Why I go out to protect myself? Why I go out for a better future? And my family is still suffering over there. It's so hard.
Even if I'm here, yes, I'm kind of, I can say that maybe my life is safe now, but what about my family, the children, my wife? It was always something which was coming back in my life every single day.
Πότε ήρθαμε μόνος μου, πάρα πολύ δυσκολία από τον χωρίς οικογένεια. Ξέρεις το, συνέχεια σκέφτεις που το οικογένεια σου, το μωρό, εγώ άφησα με ένα μωρό 2 χρόνια. Πιάνεις τηλέφωνο, μιλάς στην οικογένεια σου, μόνο το γιο σου λέει «Μπαμπά, πού είσαι?» «Μπαμπά». Λίγο δυσκολία, συνέχεια της σκεφτείς. Εντάξει, μετά παραπάνω εγώ πιάσα βοήθεια από τον UNHCR. Μίλησα από τον UNHCR, βοηθήσανε, έφεραμε το οικογένεια μου δάμε, μετά αλλάξαν τη ζωή.
Another major barrier to family reunification is the narrow definition of family. Nuclear family limited to spouses, minors and parents of unaccompanied minors. That does not take into account the different cultural context. This means that children over the age of 18 do not qualify for family reunification. Parents may therefore be forced to leave behind their child who had just turned 18, but is still dependent on them economically, socially, or emotionally. While extended family structures have become less central to family life in Western countries, in most non-Western nations a wider network of relationships are recognised as integral to what is considered to be family. UNHCR therefore has long advocated for respecting culturally diverse interpretations of family members and a broader definition that includes persons who may be dependent on the family unit.
What justification could there be for an asylum system that is so indifferent to the stress and emotion and hardships of separated families?
I see a lot of people here. They are suffering because they have 2 or 4 children in Syria and they couldn't bring them here because of the law of immigration here. How you can live without your sons, your children, your wife? You leave your wife and came to here just to work and send them money.
So many refugees here, they are crying, they are asking how I can bring the family. I heard it's difficult for bring the family. You cannot imagine how they feel. It's difficult really. Because I remember when I had my families I was living without family and my family is in Iran, it was very difficult.
Abraham is a former refugee from Iran. He is now a Cypriot citizen. He came to Cyprus alone without his wife and 2-year-old son 17 years ago. Once he was recognized as a refugee, he brought his family in Cyprus.
When your family is here, you will get more power to start your life, to build your life, to build your business. It's when someone they give you hope, you get hope, and you will get power. From that time, okay, I start really. I start hard work, but you don't feel tired. When you are alone without family, really you don't feel good. But when you are family with your children, you feel good. You join their life.
The Maisiwa radio.
Willie Totoro, a journalist from the Democratic Republic of Congo, fled to Cyprus 11 years ago without his family to escape political persecution in his country. He was allowed to bring his wife and children after recognition.
When I went to wait for my family to the airport, I remember I was saying, I hope this is not a dream. I'm not dreaming. I hope this is reality. And when I saw my wife coming with the kids, it was like, instead to be happy, I started crying. And no one couldn't understand what was emotion which I was having inside me. It was like you managed to remove something which was blocking you to live.
But for Jafar, a successful carpenter back in Syria who lost everything he possessed, his separation from his 8-year-old daughter used to be a living nightmare. In February 2016, his daughter was finally reunited with the family in Cyprus. Every year, thousands of children are separated from their parents or caregivers by war, conflict or persecution. In many cases, these children flee their country and seek asylum in other countries, including in the European Union. Unaccompanied and separated children comprise one of the most vulnerable groups in these situations, and speedy family reunification should be of the highest priority for any society that cares for the best interests of the child.
So I left Somalia without my family, each my mother or my father, my brother, and I left Somalia only me. Now I am here in Cyprus only me. It was very difficult, but my mother tell me is for good in your life and get to school or get education, something like that. It was very hard to leave my own mother and my own brother. It's like a horrible thing in my life. I do the horrible thing I do in my life, and I miss them so much. And I can't, if I tell you now, how can I say goodbye with my family? I will cry for sure. But it's very difficult. I will try to see them soon enough.
People who flee persecution and seek asylum in Cyprus often arrive by force without their spouse or children. If they are recognised as refugees, they can apply to bring their immediate family members. It is unfair that those accorded only subsidiary protection, the vast majority in Cyprus, do not even have the right to bring and live in dignity with their family members. UNHCR considers that the humanitarian needs of persons benefiting from subsidiary protection are not different from those of refugees.
Protection of the family is not only in the best interest of the individuals concerned, but it is also in the best interest of the states. Families facilitate economic adaptation and they promote social adjustments to the new environment. Families facilitate local integration, self-sufficiency, because they are able to pool their resources together. So it's better compared to individual incomes, if you like. Families provide psychological support and help towards recovery from the trauma and then psychological effects people suffered in their countries of origin. Conversely, family separation will have major impacts on the ability, on the success of refugees to integrate socially and economically in their host societies.